Hey, what's going on, everyone? It's Chase here at Rocky Mountain. Thank you for joining us. And say hello to the all-new MSR Carbon Hex helmet. So I saw this helmet a while back when they were first working on it. I was very excited about it. Super happy to see this thing come to market. And for me, this thing checks all the boxes. 3K carbon fiber shell, very comfortable. I've got to ride in this helmet. Super, super lightweight at 2 pounds, 10 ounces in a size large. Plenty of intake and exhaust vents, and you also have the latest MIPS Integra TX liner system for added safety, which we're going to talk more about. But this helmet for me checks off all the boxes of a premium helmet, and the best part is the price. This thing is half, and in some cases, much less than half the price of other premium helmets that are on the market. And we're going to dive in and talk all about this thing. If you have any questions as I go through and I talk about it, please leave those down below and we'll help get those answered. But one of the things that I'm really excited about is the new MIPS Integra TX liner system. So MSR was one of the first helmet brands to work with MIPS and their new Integra TX. And when most people think about MIPS, they think about just that yellow plastic liner inside the helmet between the comfort liner and the EPS. MIPS does have multiple versions of their system, but this is one of the latest, best offerings that they have. And now, when you look inside here, and we're going to show you the guts of this thing, but normally when you're used to seeing that yellow plastic liner inside, you're not going to see that because now it's actually incorporated into the comfort liner, and there's some big benefits to that that we're going to talk about here in just a little bit. But again, if you have questions, leave those down below as we go through and we talk about it. Get a little 360 view here. As I mentioned, 3K carbon fiber shell. You are going to be DOT and ECE 2206 certified. Nice aggressive shell shape. I really like too that around the back here you've got this channel. Perfect location for your goggle straps, going to keep that in place. And as far as the fit goes, very comfortable, super plush comfort liner on the inside. I already talked about the weight, very light at 2 pounds, 10 ounces in a size large. But the comfort is something that to me stood out right away when I put this on for the first time. Make sure you use the sizing guide when you're going to pick yours up. That will let you know what size you're going to need. But remember, we do have our fit guarantee. No matter what helmet you buy, if you don't like how it fits, you can send it back in brand new unused condition. We'll give you free shipping both ways on your first exchange to make sure you do get the size and the fit that is going to be best for you. All right. Let's talk about it. So with the shell, 3K carbon fiber, we talked about that. As far as the venting goes, you've got 12 intake vents on the front. So you've got your mouth guard vents, a couple here on the chin bar. Then up here, you got a couple just above the eye port. So with these vents here, what I love too is that when you look through, you can see you've got this wired mesh on top. You've got direct cutouts through the EPS. That's just going to help promote as much airflow as possible to help that circulate. And then you've got your exhaust vents here on the back to help that hot air get out. And again, with these vents on the back, you can see the direct cutouts to the EPS for that hot air to get out of those. The visor on this, so it's going to be a fixed visor. You got 2 screws on one on each side. The center is actually not a screw on this visor. Instead, there's actually a kind of a post that it sits onto, and then these side screws are there just to keep everything in place. These are designed to shear off if you do have a crash, but again, fixed visor. I love the streamlined look and how it sits flush with the top of the shell there. If you look at the side here, it is raised up just a little bit. That is to give as much clearance as possible for your collarbone to help prevent any injuries there. And then on the back, you notice how the profile of this, it actually rounds up. That is going to give you better integration with a neck brace. So if you wear one of those, it's going to offer a little bit more clearance. And then again, I really like to look at the spoiler that you have on the back here. So that is the outside of the shell. Let's talk about the inside here. So if I undo chin strap, you do have emergency pull tabs on the cheek pads. So if somebody does crash and you're trying to get the helmet off, you want to make sure you get the cheek pads out first. This just gives you an easy location to grab to pull those out. A word of advice, if you're just taking your cheek pads out to wash them, let them air out, don't grab this and just try and yank it out. Take your hand, your thumb, whatever, go in there, go to the base of the snaps, and honestly, if you just wedge your finger in there, they pop off nice and easy and smooth. If you just grab this tab and just yank, you could damage one of those, so avoid doing that. Just grab each snap, pop out super easy. But as I'd mentioned, very plush, very comfortable liner on the inside here. It's moisture wicking fabric. Hand wash these, let them dry, put them back in, you're good to go. And get these other ones out. All right, and for the comfort liner. Same thing, 2 snaps in the back, no snaps in the front. That's gonna avoid any pressure points from snaps to the rider's forehead. But if I pop the rest of this out, now going back to a little bit of the venting, you do have some brow vents that are built in right here on the comfort liner just to help force air right there to the front of the rider's head. That's gonna help evaporate some of that moisture there. As I mentioned, very plush, very comfortable comfort liner, tons of padding. The comfort, honestly, for this helmet is one of the things that I noticed right away is just how comfortable it was. It's a helmet that I could wear all day long, 0 pressure points, and I absolutely loved it. Now, with this out, first thing we'll talk about is the EPS on the inside. So EPS stands for expanded polystyrene. This is a material that has been used in helmets for a very, very long time, for good reason. It does a phenomenal job of absorbing impact and absorbing energy. That's why they continue to use it. But you notice that with the EPS, you do have some channels in there, again, just to help circulate air. But what you're not seeing in there is what I mentioned earlier, that yellow MIPS liner. Now, what we are doing with the new Integra TX is the liner is built into the comfort liner. You can't see it, but in between this outer layer here and the padding is the MIPS liner. And MIPS is multi-directional impact protection system. We have seen MIPS in a ton of helmets over the years. Like I said, they've gone through different iterations as it's continued to evolve. And what I like about MIPS is that when you as a helmet maker, you go to them and say, hey, we would like to work with you. We want to have MIPS in our helmet. They don't just say, oh, well, where's your helmet? Oh, there it is. Here's a MIPS liner system. We hope it makes your helmet better. That is not how it works. They take your helmet, they put the liner inside there, and then they test it themselves because they have standards that a helmet has to meet with their liner on the inside. If it doesn't pass those standards, they will not let you use MIPS in your helmet. So pretty cool little fact that I learned about them. But with the inside here, the whole purpose of MIPS is to help mitigate and reduce rotational forces. Most of your head injuries comes from that violent stop when your head hits the ground. So the idea with MIPS is to help separate your head from the shell so that when you do have that impact, your head can continue rotating. And we're talking about just milliseconds here, but that's what makes the difference. It allows your head to continue rotating inside the helmet to help reduce some of those forces. And by having the new liner inside here, a couple key things that it does. One, it helps reduce the weight. Not that the old MIPS liner system was really that heavy at all, but we're talking about shaving off grams wherever we can because all that adds up to ounces later on. But it's lighter, and then also is with the fit. This system is thinner, and by going in the comfort liner, it just allows you to have a better fitting helmet overall. And I already talked about the comfort, I won't do it again, but so you get the ultimate benefit of MIPS with the rotational energy management, but now lighter, helps the helmet fit even better. And as mentioned, MSR, one of the first brands to incorporate MIPS Integra TX. Like I said, super lightweight, 2 pounds, 10 ounces in a large, plenty of vents, very comfortable, and you've got great safety tech built in. If you have any questions or comments about this, please leave those below, we'll get those answered. To grab one, there's 5 different colorways to choose from. Click the link, head to RockyMountainATVMC.com right now. We ship for free over $75. And don't forget, MSR has a full range of helmets from the Carbon Hex. They have the MAV and the SC, so 3 different options to choose from. They've also got all the riding gear and a lot of other cool stuff to choose from, so be sure to check that out. Subscribe to the Rocky Mountain YouTube channel if you want to stay up to date on the latest and greatest products like this. I'm Chase, and we'll see you on the trails.